Assalamu alaikum everyone. How are you guys? How's life? How are you sustaining yourself in this season of COVID-19 wave 2? I hope all of you would be fine. So welcome to your first class of the COVID-19 season 2. You can say the wave 2, since we have adopted this mode of learning from Zoom, from face to face to online learning. So I will be recording your lectures online and will be sharing with you with the help of LMS as well as with the help of YouTube. I will upload these videos for you people over there and you can have them, listen to them, and we shall be having a smaller session about half an hour half for an hour where we shall be having question answer session. For now we shall be having this chapter number 5. It's, I guess it's chapter number 8 I is of your book, that is Ecology and Sustainable Development in Global Business. I am Masroor Ali Soomro from Sukkur IBA University, and this lecture is particularly intended for BBA VI students. So moving forward towards, what do you understand by the ecology and what do you understand by sustainable development? We have been discussing this thing quite oftenly in our normal lectures, and you have been using these terms on and off in your day-to-day life, but you haven't gone in detail about sustainability. What do you mean by sustaining? Since you know the meaning of this word sustain is to serve, is having an stability or having an ability to survive in an uncomfortable environment or in an environment where sustainability is not certain. So here we are. Let's begin with the first slide. What we are going to discuss today. Okay, this is the chapter number 11 of your book, defining sustainable development. In the first phase, I will be defining you what do we mean by sustainable development, how we can sustain the development, and how we can protect the environment as well. Understanding the obstacles in the development in developing world economies to meet the needs of the present without compromising the future generation. The second point would be to assess the major threats to the environmental ecosystems, how we can protect the environment, how we can sustain the ecosystem. The fourth point that we shall be discussing in this lecture today is to recognize the ways in which the population growth, inequality of resources, and industrialization have accelerated the world ecological crisis. We shall be identifying various different sources that are actually contributing towards ecological crisis and how we can reduce those problems or how we can be more responsible towards ecology. Then we shall be examining the common environmental issues. What are the most common issues that are related with our environment, that are related with our government? And we shall be sharing all those things, or we shall be comparing those things or those issues with other countries as well. Analyzing the steps of the global community, what global community at the moment doing. So far, hundreds initiatives have been taken to protect the environment, to reduce the ecological damage, but so far results are not that much encouraging. The environmentalists have been very much concerned, but since the boom of industrialization has created so much disturbance and the population growth is also having a very rapid reaction or response towards the sustainability or development of the country. So let's talk about, what do you mean by sustainable development? Is our common future, a Berlin Commission, UN World Commission on Environment and Development defines sustainable development as a sustainable development seeks to meet the needs and aspiration of the present without compromising the ability to meet those of the future. For from requiring termination of the economic growth, it recognizes that the problem of the poverty and underdevelopment cannot be solved unless we have a new era of growth in which the developing countries play a large role and reap large benefits. Okay, ji. So here we are. What does this definition says? It says actually, it tells us that we, we means we, the industrialized world, we, the business world, we, the corporate world that exists today here. It is our responsibility that we have to utilize the resources of the world, of the planet Earth, that are finite, that are scarce, in an efficient way, so that we should not compromise the ability of our future generations to live on the surface of this earth. We have to think about economic growth, as well as we have to think about the problems that it might cause for our future generations, since all of us are very much cautious and we are very much caring about our future generations, because future generations are not any other person, but they are our own children. We have to think about our children. Okay, moving forward. Environmental footprint. What do you understand by environmental footprint? Well, environmental footprint is a measure, actually, is a measure that measures what the amount of resources, how many resources we consume. We, the entire world population, approximately today, the current world population is 7 billion. These 7 billion people are utilizing environmental resources. They are surviving, they are sustaining on these resources. We are using earth's surface, we are using earth's internal core surfaces, internal core minerals for our own consumptions, and the amount of pollution that we actually produce in response of that consumption. The greenhouse gases can be, okay, waste created by an entity. When I'm saying an entity, that means we are talking about any production facility or manufacturing facility or a business that is creating waste. Okay, the waste can be of many different things. We shall be talking about it in our further slides. And by the firms that serve the entity, usually summarized by the equivalent or of land needed to assimilate these impacts. So how much resources we use, and in response or in reaction or as a resultant, what we get is the byproduct of those resources. So those byproducts can be the waste, can be the scrap, can be the garbage, it can be the greenhouse gases, it can be any other byproduct that may become, that may can be converted into another form of energy that is harmful to the environment. And how much our environment can sustain or assimilate or absorb those poisonous gases into their environment, that is referred as environmental footprint. This is sometimes referred as carrying capacity of the earth, how much our earth can carry, how much pollution it can convert into a normal fresh air for us, how it can sustain carbon dioxide that we actually send into the environment by different modes or different means. So pollution is the basic cause that is actually harming our society, our environment. It can be a soil pollution, it can be a waste pollution, it can be pollution that is the gases that we actually outshoot into the environment. Okay, the pollution that we human beings, normal human beings, that plastics that we actually discard, or that we put in our dustbins, or that we throw into different rivers and whatever the case is, and we actually damage the eco life as well, or normal bio life. Moving forward, what are the different types of the pollution? You have been studying all these things from so many years, but today we shall be giving a little bit about, we shall be knowing a little more about those things. You have heard about air pollution. What do you understand by air pollution? We have been talking about the chlorofluorocarbons that are emitted from appliances, various different appliances. It can be air conditioners, it can be normal microwaves that you use, it can be the normal air conditioners, it can be the huge plants that are used at different warehouse facilities, the reefers that are used to store. Reefers are referred, what are the reefers? Reefers are a big refrigerator that is used by the warehouse to store certain goods that need to be stored in certain cold areas. Therefore, these are huge refrigerators that are used to store meat or anything else. So it causes, they, these appliances emit chlorofluorocarbons into the environment, and they are one of the main reason of the global warming. One, it actually causes the emission of radiation that actually affects our ozone layer. Then comes the factory chimneys. So these chimneys that I have been showing in this slide, these chimneys actually throw out smoke and other poisonous gases into the environment that actually disturb our ecosystem, that actually harms our ecosystem, that actually harms our ozone layer. Thermal power plants, they are thermal power, the power units that actually run on fossil fuels, that is the crude oil. Mostly in Pakistan, you have seen the gas, the electricity produced in Pakistan is not produced from natural resources, rather they are produced through thermal energies, thermal powers, by burning the crude oil, burning oil. Okay, the vehicle exhausting fumes. Okay, we are utilizing many vehicles, transportation facilities. These transportation facilities actually burn oil, and this oil actually, when it is burned, the byproduct is carbon dioxide that is exhausted into the normal environment. Okay, do you know that the perfumes that we actually consume, the deodorants that we actually utilize, they are also harmful to our air pollution? You only get the fragrance for the couple of minutes, but actually these deos have certain types of gases that are harmful to the environment, but we don't care. Okay, the soil pollution, the pollution that is actually done by we people when we actually dump the byproducts or various poisonous products into the soil under the ground or above the ground. It also causes many problems. Or the garbage that we throw on normal roads or normal planet, it also creates problem for the other living beings on the soil, and the soil itself become irritable. Okay, water pollution. I have seen all these types of pollution here. We throw various different things, plastics into the water. We buy many things. Matlab, if you buy very different things, you can actually use those garbage and throw them everywhere. May it can be soil, it can be the water. Okay, image population. What do you understand by image population? Okay, there have been many skyscrapers being built on smaller spaces. This is referred as actually the flat system, the buildings, the huge tall buildings on a small soil. So thousands of people are living in one, just in a smaller building. So it is referred as image population. So these people are actually producing many things that are harmful to the environment. Okay, moving towards light pollution, too much of using too much light is also harmful for the environment as well as for the normal human beings. It causes many things. It causes radiations. that are harmful to the environment. Okay, normally you have seen the people using neon lights in their lights. You have seen many other lights that people use in their cars that are really blinding, that are also harmful. Okay, noise pollution. What do you understand? Noise pollution, the music, the sound pollution, the music that you play that is really much harmful towards your ear, as well as it produces waves that are really harmful towards other living beings around you. The animals, the birds gets disturbed because of it, and the waves that are produced, electromagnetic waves, also create problem for the normal plants as well. But we don't care. The problem is we people actually don't care. Water pollution, आपने सबने देखा है what happens in water pollution. Image pollution, आपने इतनी बड़ी बड़ी बिल्डिंग में स्काई स्क्रैपर्स खड़े कर दिए हैं. उन स्काई स्क्रैपर्स में हजारों लोग रहते हैं. ठीक है, उनका खाना पीना, उनका बहुत सारे कचरा आप जो इकट्ठा करते हैं वो सारा फेंकते हैं, कहाँ जाएगा? Okay, your sewerage system get blocks because of the image pollution as well. So we have many issues because of these pollutions. Soil pollution, आप कचरा फेंकते हैं एक जगह पे, just the way I was actually discussing couple of days earlier when we are having discussing this thing in our class, कि भाई आपके यहाँ कचरे फेंकने की जगहें जो हैं, कचरा कुंडी हर जगह लगी होती है. तो जहाँ पे भी आप कचरा कुंडी देखते हैं वहां पे आप कोई चीज, तब आप खड़े नहीं हो पाते हैं, तो सोचिए वहां पे जो जमीन होगी उस जमीन की हालत किस तरह हो जाती है, वो इरिगेशन के लायक नहीं रहती है. Okay, moving forward, ecological challenges. So there are certain challenges that we need to study. Ecological ecology. What do you understand by ecology? The definition from the book says that the study of how the living beings, plants, and animals interact with one another in an ecosystem. So it's the system, it's a living environment where we live. When we study that environment, where we see the plants and animals actually interact with one another in an ecosystem in a certain way. Animals consume plants. Plants uses the carbon dioxide that is actually exhaled by we people, and they produce oxygen, and oxygen is being consumed by we people. We eat plants. We produce fertilizers that actually help plants grow. There are a lot of things. Therefore, there is an interaction between animals and human beings and plants as well. Therefore, the study, all this study is referred as ecology. By some measures, the demand of human society have already exceeded the carrying capacity of Earth's ecosystem. Some of the studies has been conducted which says that Earth has a certain carrying capacity, has a limit. अगर आप उस लिमिट में रहेंगे तो आपकी अर्थ जो है वो सस्टेन कर सकती है. अगर आप ज्यादा कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड प्रोड्यूस करोगे तो अल्टीमेटली आपका जो इकोसिस्टम है वो डिस्टर्ब होगा, बिकॉज एन एक्सेस ऑफ एनीथिंग इज हार्मफुल टू द एनवायरनमेंट आर हार्मफुल टू एनीथिंग. आप कोई भी चीज ज्यादा करेंगे वो आपका नुकसान करेगी, भले कोई भी चीज हो. आप ज्यादा टीवी देखेंगे आपकी आंखें डिस्टर्ब होंगी. आप कोई चीज ज्यादा खाएंगे उस चीज का भी कोई ना कोई प्रॉब्लम ज्यादा आपको आएगा. Therefore, there is a measure. But human society is nowadays producing a lot of bad products, are creating more pollution in terms of soil pollution, in terms of eco pollution or water pollution, where you are actually disturbing the entire environment, where you are disturbing the ecology of the earth. Coming towards our second point, that is the global commons. What do you understand by global common? A global common is shared resource that a group of people uses collectively. Okay जी, water आपका क्या है? पानी. Water is a type of a global common. Air, what is air? Air is basically a global common. Okay, what do you understand by earth? Earth is the global common. Okay, what do you understand by oil? Oil or the global common, everybody wants it, and that's why आप लोगों ने देखा है कि अमेरिका इस वक्त सुपर पावर है और वो हर जगह फटे अटका घूमता फिरता है, फटे कहता फिरता है, क्यों उसे ऑयल चाहिए, and it's a global common. Every country needs it for their own usage, and these resources are scarce. You have to be efficient in the utilization of these resources. What's the need of collecting so much money? The problem is there is inequality of distribution of resources. Okay, paradox. Paradox. What do you understand by paradox? Paradox is referred as inconsistency or imbalance between the usage of anything, or inconsistency between the two things, imbalance between the two things, a discrepancy sometimes referred as. Paradox is that if the individual maximizes their own advantage in short term, common will be destroyed. अगर आज आप हर एक चीज यूज कर देंगे तो ग्लोबल कॉमन्स जो हैं, जो आपके फॉसिल फ्यूल्स हैं, आज खत्म हो जाएंगे. यहाँ तक कि आपके नॉन फॉसिल फ्यूल्स सच एज एयर एंड वाटर that are unlimited, but if you are exceeding in utilizing fossil fuels, you will actually damage your those resources that are not fossil, that are renewable energies. You are going to divide, you are going to destroy all those renewable energies. So you have to balance yourself. Ecological challenges, there are so many ecological challenges. At the moment, our main job is to preserve that global common, our common ecosystem where we live. If we don't sustain, if we don't protect our environment, certainly this environment will ultimately have certain replications. You have been seeing, witnessing different earthquakes. You have seen the sulfuric acid rain, our acid rains. You have witnessed it, assuring its continued use in a new imperative for businesses, governments, and policies and societies. Therefore, everybody at the moment is trying their best to preserve those common ecosystem where we live. Businesses are also working on it. Government, especially the main role comes here. The government को काम करना है. अगर government काम नहीं करेगी तो businesses को परवाह नहीं होती है. The government itself is a state, and the state has to manage everything. The state has to maintain a balance between all these things. You have to create equality. You have to sustain your resources, because if a state has to exist, then the state has to manage all these things. Sustainable development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet their own needs. हमें आज की ज़रूरतों को पूरा करने के चक्कर में ये नहीं करना है कि हम तो ऐश व अयाशी से ज़िंदगी गुजार ली हमने, पर हमने अपनी फ्यूचर जनरेशंस के बारे में सोचा ही नहीं. मेरे पास आज जो है 10 करोड़ रुपए हैं, वो 10 करोड़ रुपए मैंने आज खत्म कर लिए, पर उन पैसों को अगर मैं मल्टीप्लाई करता अपनी आने वाली जनरेशन के लिए, अपनी औलाद के लिए, तो हो सकता था जिस तरह मैं रहा हूँ उससे ज्यादा बेहतर तरीके से वो रह सकते थे. और यही चीज हमें फ्यूचर जनरेशंस को भी समझानी है कि भाई रिसोर्सेज को मल्टीप्लाई करना सीखें, ना कि उनको डिवाइड कर दें, खत्म कर दें. Protect the environment will require economic development. Okay जी, certainly किसी चीज को डेवलप करने के लिए पहले तो आपके पास रिसोर्सेज, पैसे होने चाहिए, बिकॉज आपने एनवायरनमेंट को काफी हद तक डिस्ट्रॉय कर दिया है. नाउ यू नीड मनी टू प्रोटेक्ट द एनवायरनमेंट. अगर प्लांट्स लगाने हैं तो प्लांट्स ऐसे नहीं लगेंगे अभी, वो खरीदने पड़ेंगे कहीं ना कहीं से. अगर पानी साफ करना है तो पानी साफ करने के लिए टेक्नोलॉजी चाहिए, और टेक्नोलॉजी को बाय करने के लिए या उस चीज को बनाने के लिए आपको पैसे चाहिए, रिसोर्सेज चाहिए. therefore economic development is necessary in order to protect the environment now. ओके, अगर आपको रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी की तरफ जाना है, थर्मल एनर्जी से ओके हट के आपको टाइडल एनर्जी, सोलर एनर्जी, एयर, आपका विंड एनर्जी की तरफ जाना है, तो उस टेक्नोलॉजी के बनाने के लिए या खरीदने के लिए यू नीड मनी. Okay ji, accomplishing both involves what? A paradox. You have to create a balance. At the moment, हमें ये ऑरेंज लाइन, ग्रीन लाइन, मेट्रो ट्रेन्स ये एट द मोमेंट जरूरी नहीं थी पाकिस्तान के लिए बनाने के लिए. What was necessary कि भाई आपके पास रोड्स हैं, थोड़ा सा डंडा घुमाएं, थोड़ा सा स्ट्रिक्ट डिसिप्लिन करें लोगों को. आपका ट्रांसपोर्टेशन सिस्टम ऑलरेडी अच्छा है, रोड्स आपके अभी मोटरवेज बन चुके हैं, मोटरवेज आपने बना लिए, दैट्स रियली वेरी गुड. बट मेट्रो ट्रेन पे इतना ज्यादा अरबों रुपए खर्च करने की जरूरत नहीं थी. वो सारे पैसे आपको डैम्स पे लगाने थे. डैम्स बना लेते तो आपके लिए पानी स्टोर भी कर सकते थे, फ्यूचर जनरेशन के लिए बिजली भी बना सकते थे. और ये जो रोज हम लोग चिल्लाते रहते हैं पानी खत्म हो गया है, सिंध और पंजाब के बीच में आए दिन फटा चल रहा होता है पानी के रिसोर्सेज पे कि भाई पंजाब हमारा पानी खा गया, पी गया, हम लोग जमीनें किस तरह से करें, यहाँ हमें पानी देर से मिलता है. तो ये सारी चीजें आपको सोचनी पड़ेंगी. ओके जी, मूविंग फॉरवर्ड. ओके जी, थ्रेट्स टुवर्ड्स Earth's ecosystem. Let me stop it here since okay, this is my last slide. I have to cover this slide and then I will be joining you in our Zoom live session because it's 12:30 already. So let me complete this video at the first time. Okay, these threats to Earth's ecosystem. Sustainable development requires that human society use natural resources at a rate that can be continued over an indefinite period of time. Yes, सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट आपको ये डिमांड करती है कि रिसोर्सेज को इस तरह से यूटिलाइज करें कि वो एक इनडेफिनेट पीरियड तक चलते रहें. ट्राई टू वर्क ऑन रिन्यूएबल एनर्जीज एंड ट्राई to avoid or reduce the use of non-renewable resources, because non-renewable resources once used are gone forever. Therefore you have to continue, you have to think about other renewable energies. Go or shift your technology towards renewable energies. Examples are the water resources, fossil fuels and arable land. जमीन को प्रोटेक्ट करना है, ये सॉइल पोल्यूशन जो है इसको खत्म करना है. Try to avoid using plastics. Plastics are the main cause of the damage towards your arable land. Okay, ji, try to dump the products that are perishable in your own home. Try to dig. You should be having a garden outside your home, or try to find out an area where you can dump your waste or eatable products into the land. And earth ecosystem will manage how the system knows how to perish it, how to utilize it for its own good. Okay ji, thank you very much. This is the first part. We are going to end here, and let me join you in your class right now, and then we shall be continue towards the second part and third part. Okay, thank you very much guys, so nice of you. Take care. Love it.